Right, you've seen maybe one of my videos where I show you how to do ropes for assisted fells, because I'm cutting coppice and this is what I get. So this is my firewood for the winter. We're getting towards the end of it now. It's January 2025, and to get the rope up a tree I don't use a throwing line, which is what this is. This is a homebrew one. You can buy all sorts of posh things from tree surgery suppliers. And a weighted bag. This is lead shot in here, and these are homemade, but they're soft, so if they touch you on the head it won't kill you. Right, and these are homemade. This is a thumb offer glove that's too big for me, and this is a bit of heavy duty fabric, and shot came out of an old shot weight belt, and this is in fact the line out of a SMB reel I didn't like for diving on a reel from the MIG welder that had run out of welding wire. Anyway, right, we don't need that. These you'll see, I'll put a link to a video which I've already done about how to get a 3-to-1 advantage when pulling down a tree which you're felling. So chopping on the floor. This is the rope I use, which is triple laid Terralin, which is also free. Half was beach combed and half come off the Poole Bay artificial reef with an anchor on the end, but I left the anchor there because I didn't want it, but I did want the rope. And it's spliced in the middle, which doesn't matter. The video I'll link to tells you about the Lola regulations in Britain and how this doesn't apply, basically because there's no way that one old geezer pulling is ever going to break this rope, even with a 3-to-1 advantage. Also, I'm pulling, I'm not lifting. So anyway, I'm doing my own stuff on my own inverted commas ground. This is another rope which will be much stronger. This is Dyneema, but it's much shorter. Basically your rope needs to be at least twice the height of the tree you're getting the rope up into. And I'll show you how to do a throwing knot. Chuck that on the ground because we don't want that. Disadvantage with throwing line is you can get it up higher. I can get it up about 50-60 feet, so nearly 30 meters. It's getting a bit towards the limit of that, and you've got to have a good clear large target. But one of the issues with, if you use a throwing line and one of these bags, is that if you've got a fork, it tends to get stuck if the fork's small diameter. Once it's stuck, you can never get it down. With a throwing knot or dropout knot, you don't have to worry about that unless you get really unlucky, because the knot drops out. Once you've got it over a fork or a missed fork or another branch, and it tries to get stuck, it drops out and you basically end up pulling the far end. So why is that then? Well, I'll show you how to tie one. I'll explain as we go. It goes on the ground, and your drop out knot is really a wrap, it's not a knot as such. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then the standing end, which is the end you pull on, you put a loop in it, shove it through there and pull it nice and tight. Then the standing end, another loop goes through there, pull that tight, and that's your handle for throwing it. And then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's about as much as I can handle. You can go another 2 on your left hand if you want. And the idea is to chuck that up the tree. Once it goes over the tree, your target, or if it misses and goes over another fork, what happens is it goes like that, it drops down. If I drop it over there, give it a bit of a shake, and it drops out. See it? Imagine that's 30 foot up a tree, because I could make 30 foot, 35 foot maybe. And if that all drops out, it almost goes to the ground. So I had about 6 meters in there, which is 30 foot. So I'm just about a metre and a half, no, nearly 2 metres tall, reach. So I can reach up to the far end of the rope and pull it down and pull it through. And then if you're harvesting kindling wood, you can double up the rope and pull your dead branch off. And if it doesn't come off, you can then pull the rope down. And if you're using a dropout knot to do that, or to do assisted felling, which is what I do, and if you haven't got a weight on the end, or one of these bag weights which is too small to get a good length of rope up, or you have a spanner up it, you pull it and it twats you on the head. If you've got a spanner or a bit of wood or something, it's going to hurt. So I'll show you that again. So that's 4 of those. Don't make them too big. I use 4 or 5 and about a dozen wraps around it. And stick that through there. And do that. And you're ready to go. See, it's quite quick even when I'm talking it through. And you can put a bit more mass on it if you want. If you're big and strong, which I'm not, you can get it a bit higher and a bit further. And what you should do is put your foot on the far end so the whole thing doesn't go sailing off and over the top, although it doesn't really happen in practice. So let's see how much length we've got in there. Drop him out. Yeah. 1 fathom. 2 fathom. 3 fathom. 4 fathom. So a fathom is approximately 2 meters, so that's 8 meters. So that should be plenty. So that, people, is a dropout knot. And I'll link to a video that's already up from last year of me using it. And you can take what I do and use it if you like, but understand this is not, what's the word, training. It's just what I do. Feel free to copy it, but think it through before you start going into stuff. Hope that was useful.